Okay, Rainbow Six Siege patch notes for Year 7 Season 2. So honestly, not a ton to go over here, but let's see what there is to see. So I'm going to skip over the notes and stuff at the beginning, and we'll look at this at the end. Stay tuned if you're interested, but otherwise we'll start with the actual patch notes. So you guys will love this one. A note on the balancing of LMGs and Finka. Before we dive into the balancing changes you can expect from Operation Vector Glare's season test server, we wanted to address a topic we know is important to you. In the current state of Siege's balance, there are a few components that we agree are tuned a little high, specifically LMGs and Finka. We've been investigating how to bring them more in line with other operators and weapon types, and have begun putting this into action. In order to make sure these changes don't cause a ripple effect to the overall balance ecosystem, though, this has taken some additional time. We can comfortably announce that adjustments will be coming to both LMGs and Finka in Year 7 Season 3. Note, this is Year 7 Season 2, so we will have to wait an entire additional season, yes, another 3 months before they do these changes. We know you were likely hoping for adjustments this season, so we ask for a little more patience as we work to do this right by you. We appreciate your passion for these changes and look forward to getting them in front of you next season. I mean, I have to say, like, this is honestly pretty pathetic. Like, it's so noticeably a problem, and I said I was going to skip over this, but just to highlight this, like, look at where Finka is on this chart. Like, 75% pick rate with, I mean, what, like, over double the win delta percentage of any other operator, like Nock and Yana. Like, that's just insane that they couldn't do something. Like, you couldn't at least remove the overheal factor, or at least just take away the LMG for now, or like at least take away the Gon 6 of the, like, do something. Like, are you kidding me? That's just awful. This meta isn't the most insufferable meta ever, but it's pretty bad. There's always some person on the enemy team. I've been banning Finka a ton to combat this, but always somebody on the enemy team pulling up on you with 120 health and 100 bullets, and then not to mention they got Zofia over there with 150 bullets. Like, it's just, I just don't get it. Like, you could have done something. And there's been a lot of community outcry. I wonder if maybe they'll do something in like a Year 7 Season 2.1 patch, because their feedback will be so negative from this, but it's insane. This has been an issue for so long. It's not like this just cropped up. Baffling decision. I understand the sentiment not wanting to cause a ripple effect, but you could have at least done a minor change. Like, look how that chart, man, okay, just enough about that. Other than that, pretty good stuff. All right, game balancing, screen shake intensity. So this is something that people have complained about for a long time. One of the most annoying, just like core functionalities. Screen shake has been in the game forever, and it's like, I guess it's for realism purposes or whatever, but you can turn it off if you're some sort of absolute animal. You can leave it on, or you can put it on like a lower setting. Maybe that'll help you with getting feedback in a sense, but I feel like most people are just going to turn it off. I don't think you're really going to miss the sound cues from explosions. So, right, players can now turn off or reduce the intensity of screen shake feedback during gameplay from the accessibility section of the options menu. So again, if I remember right, there is an off, a low setting, and then a setting that's just equal to what it is currently, and then so they talk about it, and just in a fantastic change. Crouch walking volume, increase the volume of footsteps while crouch walking. So they have a little video here, and I'm not going to play it because whenever I try to play it, it stops at 15 seconds, which is like right when the after, this shows before and then it shows after, right when the after section is being shown. It's so I don't know why it doesn't play for me. Maybe it'll play for you, but okay, it's like noticeably louder. Crouch walking has always been very strong because it is very, very quiet compared to the actual speed you get. You don't, like, the movement penalty is noticeable, obviously, but it's not walking super, super slow. If you play Valorant, the alt walk is very slow. And in Siege, there's also alt walk, which you can, there's actually a way to change alt walk. It's like your controller dead zone or something. If you adjust it, it'll change your slow walk speed, even if you're on a keyboard. So it's kind of interesting. But right, it seems like a good change, but a lot of people that play a very crouch walk heavy style are, going to not like this maybe. They will be heavily impacted, but generally speaking, it's a pretty good change. Operator balancing, multiple operators, added third secondary weapon options. So this is pretty cool. Some people are asking why Sledge didn't get the SMG-11 back. He didn't lose it to get something else. He lost it because his kit was overtuned. So I think people are being a little facetious when they ask that. But all right, Amaru is getting the Ida back. That's the Jackal secondary shotgun. She lost that for the Gon 6. Kalash is getting the P10C back, so that's just a pistol. She lost that for the Super Shorty. So I guess if you want to rock a pistol instead of the Super Shorty, or instead of the secondary submachine gun, the SBS SMG, or what is it, SVSMG 9 or whatever. Dokkaebi, the C75, if you prefer that over the SMG 12. She lost that for the Gon 6. Vinka, the other Russian pistol, lost this for... Or does she have a PMM also? I don't know what her other secondary pistol is. I assume it is. Lost this for Gon 6, Bearing 9. This is just being added, so Glaz and Tachanka both getting Bearing 9s. Pretty good buff, and we'll see Glaz again in a second. Gridlock getting this back, lost for the Gon 6. Lost this for, what is she, like C75 or something? And then Lion, Gon 6, lost the P9. That's like Rook's pistol, or the pistol that's not the Magnum. Twitch has it, whatever. And then again Tachanka. So yeah, pretty cool. I guess the most impactful changes here are the Glaz and the Tachanka getting that. But maybe if you like this on Dokkaebi, also you have to give up a Gon 6. And then Amaru, maybe you really like having the secondary shotgun. But most of these don't matter too much outside of the Bearing 9s. And then even then, Tachanka and Glaz aren't the most played operator, but maybe this will increase their pick rate. And okay, so moving on from there, Glaz changed to a 1 armor 3 speed. So double Glaz buffs. He now has a very good secondary gun. I guess he had the PMM, the pistol, which is one of the better pistols at 2 shots, most people. But now he has an actually fully auto submachine gun secondary in the Bearing 9. Not an amazing gun compared to actual submachine guns, but as far as secondaries go, it's pretty strong. So you can run around with that, and I do mean run around because indeed a 3 speed. So Glaz already sort of had his place in the attacker repick meta, where you would pull him out with usually you pull him out with the smokes, and then maybe 1 or 2 other operators with smoke grenades, and then you do some sort of rush execute, or maybe just it's for a post plant, whatever. Do whatever with the smokes. You can also run, I guess if you want to be an absolute animal, you can run around with the Bearing 9 and frag grenades, and then have the secondary, use like the rifle as your secondary, I suppose, if they throw gas grenades or if your teammate brings smokes or whatever. But yeah, generally you want to bring the smoke grenades on Glaz. So it's cool. It doesn't really seem necessary. I don't know if it's so much going to match up with the way he's used. Maybe this will enable him to be used in a different way. I don't know. We'll see what this does. I guess it's a cool change. Maybe it'll be annoying. I don't know. And I mean, that's pretty much it in terms of changes. So now, if feel free to tune out if you just wanted to see the changes. We'll go back and look at the operator stats. And okay, back to the beginning. Yeah, win delta is obviously Finka way off the charts. Yana, the second best operator. I guess Nock is like slightly more winning, but a little bit of an anomaly just because things aren't so well represented when the presence is so low. Yana, very good as well. Both of these operators are the ones with frag grenades and Gon 6s. They both have good primary guns and pretty good gadgets. Twitch, super strong gun. Sledge, just incredible kit overall. L85, super solid gun, has frags, and the Sledgehammer is one of the best gadgets in the game. Ace, really strong gun, and then Hard Breach, very versatile, easy to use. Doesn't have any throwable secondary gadgets, which hurts him a little bit, but he would be ridiculous if he had it, and he did used to have the smokes, right? So that brought him a little bit more in line with other operators, and you do see all 3 of the other Hard Breachers pretty close together. They all have their niches and uses, and if people prefer them differently based on who they are or what objective they're playing, what map, whatever. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the balancing, it looks pretty solid here, except for this obvious outlier. Maybe Yana could even use a little bit of tuning. Like, she might move up a little bit if Finka gets nerfed and Yana doesn't. But, you know, I think maybe... Obviously, you address the LMGs, so the big 2 are Finka and Zofia. Zofia doesn't look that annoying, but, well... It is what it is. The gun is still super annoying. Yeah, I mean, you gotta at least... You take bullets away from it, or you make the aim down sights penalty more extreme, or you decrease their damage, or you at least take away the magnification scopes. But I think you need to... definitely you got to take away some of the bullets, or you make the recoil really extreme, or maybe you get a movement penalty. That would really be a turn off for people. Turn 2 speeds into 1 speeds and things like this, or maybe not that exact number, but that would be an interesting change as well. There should be a much bigger penalty for having LMGs now, especially... Yeah, because the only penalty as of now to bring the LMG, say on Finka over the spear, is, yeah, you aim down sights a little bit slower, but that's actually largely mitigated by Finka's gadget when it's active, and then it's a longer reload time. But obviously, you have 100 bullets, you don't have to reload that often, so... Yeah, I don't know. Just LMGs, got to do something about it. It's just so annoying. You're running around with a defender gun that does like 25 damage, and the attacker has 20 extra health, and their gun does twice as much damage and has like 3 to 5 times as many bullets. Yeah, it's just obnoxious. But yeah, no, pretty good balancing overall. Like, you know, maybe you can start doing small buffs on these guys, but if you can bring Finka down a little bit, maybe even Yana down a little bit, and then these are just just really solid operators that I don't know that they really need nerfs at all. And then, so again, yeah, just small buffs, you know, Callie, maybe you give Callie something besides a sniper rifle, like give her a rifle as well. And Glaz, maybe he'll go up with the buffs, and some of these kind of deserve to be low. The shields, maybe they're not even that weak, and people in ranked are just bad at using them, whatever. So that's the attackers, and we'll take a look at the defenders. Jaeger's still the most picked by far, but it looks like he's the 6th least winning operator, and that's just an artifact of ranked play, I think. People just pick all these animal operators that are easier to get frags with than Jaeger, and they're generally more successful because strategies aren't too fine-tuned in ranked. You know, Jaeger, it's like a good-ish gun, but in terms of ease of use, there are far easier guns. It's one of the harder guns to use, even if it has good stats outside of the recoil. And Rook, just insanely high, but you know, not picked that much, so it's not that big of a deal. Clash into Tachanka, awful. Tachanka getting buffed here. Clash, I mean, probably deserves to stay down here. Azami, curiously, very low. People are just bad at using it. Maybe now that it's going to be introduced into pro play and people see pros use it, they'll get better at using it, but that's quite strange to me that she's this low in terms of win delta at the very least, and presence. Maybe she'll go up as, again, people see them being used. And then there's this big cluster of operators, and then we have good operators. We have some like fragging operators and just like solid utility operators, and then sort of a little combination sort of operators, a little bit more niche. Mozzie, certain strategies, Bandit if you're doing something. Aruni's pretty good overall, but laser gates can be less impactful than certain other gadgets. Yeah, so I think this looks pretty good as well. You know, maybe you do something with Clash, but again, shields are just a little bit weird. Rook, I don't know. I guess there's a bug on the test server that his armor plates give withstand. I don't know if that's a bug or an intended thing. It's not in the patch notes, obviously, but yeah. No, again, pretty good bouncing. I don't know if Jaeger's necessarily an issue. It is what it is. That's just the nature of the game. Maybe he would go down if frag grenades weren't so ridiculous. Yeah. So we'll just look at the ban rates, and I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, Thatcher, almost 90% ban rate. It is what it is until they implement, aren't they supposed to do that like EMP secondary gadget? Maybe once that gets implemented, if that ever gets implemented, that'll bring his ban rate down. Jackal, just super annoying. This is mostly a ranked ban. You don't see it banned nearly as much like this in comp, and because just in ranked, there's not really a great substitute ban. I'm surprised Fink is not banned more, honestly, with how obnoxious it is to play against. And then just a bunch of not super important bans, just 1, 2, 3%. And then on defenders, yeah, Mira, Valkyrie, Kaid, 2 insanely powerful intel operators, and then Kaid just does something nobody else is doing. So, and then a lot of times if like Maverick or Thatcher gets banned, it's just extremely difficult to deal with Kaid, so he gets banned, so that as a bit of a prophylactic measure. And then these aren't terribly significant. You know, some people just don't like playing against Clash, so they ban it. And then Capcan Malusi, a little bit higher than the 1, 2, 3% we saw up there. Man, these are just annoying operators to play against. Azami, Echo, Elikab, Jaeger, whatever. I don't think these are too significant. And yeah, that does it for the patch notes. So if you are outraged against LMGs, let me hear it in the comments. I mean, yeah. Again, it's just like ridiculous. Why didn't they do something? At least something. If it's not like a big change, like at least a small change for now. Throw us a bone, dog. Come on. But okay, yeah, other than that, if you have any other comments, let me know. Like and a subscription would be appreciated. And with all of that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video.